Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up, it's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you're watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, Ronda, Steve here.
Dan Larson, I'm here. He's here.
Oh,
I wasn't here.
Ooh, deception. Ooh, secrets.
Subterfuge.
Lies. And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast.
Me or the wonderful friendos out
Everybody.
there. Oh, yeah,
everybody
back.
who isn't me. I've been here the entire
Welcome
time.
back.
No days off, Steve. That's what they call me.
You're going to be taking plenty of days off here in a few months, though.
I know. I feel like you're just sort of whittling away. You're like, man, Steve's going to take like 20 days off. I got to chop off 2 here, 2 there.
That's actually kind of my strategy. Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. That's totally cool. So it's Going In Raw. We're available right here at youtube.com/.
Sorry, prior this weekend, the one day I took off because I was legit sick.
Yeah. Well, that's
like really sick.
That's 3 down.
Well, a sick day doesn't count as vacation day.
Yeah, no, it totally does.
No.
Absolutely. We are not a corporation. A day gone is a day gone. Anyways, would you allow me to continue the intro, please? I know you're excited to be back.
Well, you weren't happy to be talking for an hour straight by yourself yesterday. You got to take her to the show immediately today.
Myself, yeah. Exactly. Crap, did you hear me run you down?
No, I don't watch the show.
Yeah, I never. When I'm not on it, man, I have no desire to watch it.
I mean, what do I care?
Even when I am on it, I've lived it, man.
Yeah,
I'd rather
exactly.
listen to the Monster, that Zodiac podcast. I'm caught up on that, by the way.
Oh, I'm behind still.
There's a new. They're starting to make the case now that it wasn't Arthur Lee Allen.
All right.
Of course, none of the actual evidence pointed at him. It was just Toski's gut feeling.
Is that the guy that was worked at the factory that had the Zodiac watch?
Yeah,
okay.
The main suspect in the movie.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
There's like a new guy. His name is Brian Zane. Maybe it was Brian Zane.
Oh, dear.
Brian Zane confirmed Zodiac Killer.
Nah, he's too nice a guy.
Yeah, he's a swell guy. Anyways, we're available here on YouTube. We're also over there on the area in the realm of podcasts. Be sure to leave us a rating, review, or comment. Oh, we're on the Patreon, too.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/Steve and Larson. It's a great way to support Going In Raw. I think we've got some new patrons. So I am going to go ahead and read their names because that's what we do for new patrons. Listen, get a load of this. This is a great name here. Oh, crap. Come back. That's weird. Luis Felipe de Castro Reyes.
It's a good name.
What a great name.
Great name.
Alan H. Browning IV.
Another
good name.
Another good name.
And then the King of Lazy Style, Zach Fuller.
Good name, too.
A bunch of good names, man.
Great
People
names.
are killing it with their names. Birth name or not. They're doing a great job.
All great
with
names.
The names. So anyways. I hope you guys are doing good. Raw happened last night. There's actually been a couple things. Number one, King Kong Bundy died.
Yeah, he passed away.
That's a bum. I would not have known if you had said, hey, is he still alive, yay or nay?
Yeah, I wasn't aware either.
This is totally inside out.
Yeah, it is. Pocket on the inside.
That's awesome. Man.
I
could have been smooth about it, but I like to publicize when I'm a clown.
Well, I think we
when I'm a
really don't have
idiot.
an issue reveling in our own ineptitude.
No, we don't. I don't think we do.
So even when it comes to dressing ourselves, apparently.
Like a freaking child over here. Anyways, what did you think about? Oh yeah. So King Kong Bundy died last night. Also, there was an injury scare.
Oh, Asuka.
Asuka got dropped on her head and neck by Mandy Rose.
Did you see the video of the incident?
I did not. I saw the after. No, I saw a picture of the aftermath. How bad it look?
I couldn't really tell from the video. I watched it briefly this morning. It was a wheelbarrow thing, and everybody was saying it was just a miscommunication.
Yeah.
Where Asuka thought she was supposed to be going for a roll-up, I think.
Yeah.
And then Mandy went for like a wheelbarrow face buster.
Yeah.
And so at landing, Asuka does that.
Yeah.
Like she's going to roll up, and so she kind of landed on her head.
Ooh. Accidents happen.
But all things considered, it seems like she's okay. Asuka tweeted.
She tweeted out last night and this
that
morning.
She's fine.
She tweeted last night. She said, "I'm fine. My head's fine. My neck's fine." And this morning she said, "Thanks again for the love. I'm good." Something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that all happened, and then I think was there one other thing I'm missing? What'd you think about the? Because it's Friday's like a mile away. So Arn Anderson.
Oh, the Alicia
I mentioned this in Overrun yesterday. Arn Anderson let Alicia Fox
can't be letting,
allegedly.
You can't. Oh, yeah. If true, you can't be letting intoxicated people go out there and work.
Is that not the most old school thing you've ever heard?
It very
in your
much
life,
is,
though?
and you know, I this is pure speculation, and this is by far no excuse of what Arn did. But I'm sure, or I would think it'd be a situation where he probably knows that if reports are true, she was on thin ice, as it were, and she shows up to work in no state probably to work.
Yeah.
Even if she's slightly buzzed, she shouldn't be out there wrestling. And it was a situation where he was looking out in his mind for the talent to a certain degree. Like he's going to be responsible for someone losing their job.
Yeah, sure.
And so he says, all right, well, go out there and be careful or something. I don't know. It's inexcusable. You can't be doing that. You can't allow people that who are intoxicated out there to perform in an industry where in a lot of times you're maybe an inch or less away from serious injury.
The margin of error in wrestling for injuries is really
very thin.
Very thin. That being said, I mean, yeah, it's terrible, but it was like the most. It's
it's totally an old school.
It's
thing.
like here's the thing. I'm sure Arn Anderson, having the bulk of his career during a time when, and every wrestler seemingly will admit this.
More often than not, they work drunk, maybe.
Right, exactly. He's probably an expert on determining what level is okay. It's like Jeff Hardy, Victory Road. No, definitely not okay. But, you threw back a couple of tall boys backstage. Yeah, you're probably going to be fine. But you can't have that attitude these days.
No,
man.
you can't. Here's the thing, too, is like I know a lot of wrestlers ride together. How did she get to the arena? Did she drive herself? Did she get drunk after she arrived? Did she take an Uber? These are all questions I asked myself when I read about this. Because, like, if she drove herself while intoxicated, it's bad enough to show up to work intoxicated, but to operate a motor vehicle while intoxicated just to get to work. I'm
gonna guess that like you said, most wrestlers do ride together. Yeah. She probably rode with some of the other wrestlers.
I would hope so.
And they were probably like, "Man, what are you gonna do?" She's like, "I'm gonna talk to Arn. He's old school. He ain't gonna care." La la la.
Well, I'm sure Arn.
All right, let's have this match.
Arn probably did care. It was probably a situation where he would feel bad if someone got fired because of him.
Heck yeah, man. So, anyways, hopefully Alicia gets whatever help she needs so she can.
Yeah, apparently they offered her rehab, but I don't think that she took him up on their offer.
I'd be like, cool, yes, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you gotta keep that job, man.
I know.
Keep that job. Anyways, what did you think of Raw last night, man? We put up this community poll.
Oh, what did the community have to say? I thought it was a bit uneven.
I think the community
often within the same segment.
I think the community agreed with you. This might have been one of those things where I was just like, I was not feeling great.
Entirely possible.
I had like kind of a headache last night.
I'm tired from traveling, so
I'm sorry. I know, man. A lot of you guys are gonna be like, oh, you guys. So somewhere in between won decisively with 43%. There was actually now that I think about it, I have to go look at your notes. But the yays were really strong though. Yays were 23%, and then nays were 10%. So that's good. I mean, that's in terms of people in general. I want people to enjoy the product.
Same. Or at least not dislike it.
Yeah, even if I'm like lukewarm on it. There were some things that I could pick out and really enjoy. But I thought, it's funny because you've said this before. You said this before about when Charlotte was wheeled out for to enter the fray with the Becky Ronda thing, and you said you just wish it was executed better. I think like last night's final segment, really needed to be executed.
What did I say before?
Different and better.
We started, different. Like the whole story is convoluted as all get out.
It really is.
Ronda was stripped, but then she told Stephanie no, and then she gets her belt back. Is that easy? But it really comes down to is Ronda, her idea of drama is talking really fast.
Yeah.
Like she has two speeds, I told you before we started. It's happy to be here, essentially. Like when she was a face, she'd come out and be all smiles and she almost seemed nervous. She still seems nervous.
Yeah.
But they either express herself in kind of bright-eyed, this is a huge stage I'm not quite used to, a little bit of nerves. When she was
I'm overwhelmed by the love.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, overwhelmed a bit. Yes, thank you. Or it's Micro Machines guy.
Yeah, sure.
Where she just...
I've been trying to time, no more nice guy bitch. Yeah.
At max speed.
Yeah, right.
And there needs to be some ebb and flow, some build.
Yeah.
If you want to communicate the story in the most effective and dramatic means.
Mm-hmm. There was a little bit of chatter about this. I know this actually was revealed a little while ago, but some more people are picking up on it. The idea that in an interview that Ronda Rousey gave let's see here. I guess with the AP, I don't know. Somebody named Jordan Strauss. They asked Ronda what's the most difficult aspect of wrestling so far. And she says, I grew up with apraxia, which is a motor speech disorder. I had years of speech therapy, and I've always had problems slurring or mispronouncing my words. In the ring, it's so important that you speak so clearly and you're easy to understand and that you don't falter at all. It makes me more nervous and more likely to actually mispronounce things. It's been really great for me to be able to work on and overcome those fears that I've had since I was a little kid.
Okay.
And a couple people have been talking about that today, but I think this came out a little while ago because I kind of remember it.
Yeah, I was unaware of that. That might explain.
Which, yeah, it adds. I remember. I don't know why I didn't bring it up. I just thought that everybody knew about it. But it does. I remember when I read it the first time, I sort of thought to myself, you know, I give her a little bit more leeway.
Yeah.
But also on top of that, this is what they do is not easy. No. What they do is not easy.
And I don't know who writes Ronda's stuff, whether she has a hand in it or not, but it's someone mentions it here in chat earlier. It's overwritten.
It's way overwritten.
It's way overwritten.
It is, yeah. And
maybe going through it at top speed is easier.
Yeah.
Versus trying to slow things down for. Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea.
I feel like they in the first half of her short-lived WWE career, they did a really, really good job at sort of protecting her. Mm-hmm. I wonder if it's a matter of her wanting to bite off more to challenge herself and taking on asking, hey, I'm going to be the Raw Women's Champion. I'm going to be the focal point and possibly the main event of WrestleMania. You know, give me more stuff to handle because I want to take on the challenge. And sometimes you fail, and that's okay.
Yeah. At least she's up. She thinks she's up to the challenge. At least
I think just the nature of where the storyline is headed in terms of she comes out. There's such a delineation for me between social media giving sort of a wink and a nudge to this is entertainment. It's not a real sport. And then when you're in the ring and you basically say, you're entertainers, I'm the real deal, and I could crush you in a second. I'm just out here because I really love the fake pro wrestling. That's essentially what she was saying. And then she goes and wrecks Becky, and we get the crowd was dead for that.
Yeah, it was.
The crowd was because they're like, you know, yeah, we all know that you could probably wreck anybody here.
Yeah.
I mean, Brock can too, but I don't know, man.
With Brock, it's never quite as explicitly spoken.
Paul Heyman always like dances around
the idea.
Exactly.
He just says he's the most legitimate athlete in WWE.
Yeah.
He doesn't say that.
But then he always puts over the other guy.
Totally.
You know, and that sort of brings it together in a very poetic way.
There's a couple other times with Triple H's promo last night. You know,
man.
Hey, Dave.
It's funny.
I like when people call Batista Dave.
I know, I love that too. And then he said, Dave. "You're talking to the man, not the character."
But he did. He went just so far. He didn't refer to himself as Paul. But I totally expect when Dave shows up,
he's gonna call him Paul.
Hey, Paul.
He should.
He has to at this point. He has.
But it's funny because
he called. Sorry. He said, I wasn't here to celebrate Ric Flair. I was here to celebrate Richard Fliehr.
Yeah.
And then several times he said Richard Flair.
Yeah, I noticed that. It kind of, I know. I like the wedding line. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Before we get into the minutia here, I'll just point this out really quick because I think it relates to the Ronda stuff and then a little bit to the Triple H stuff because evidently they want to go down that route of further exposing the line between real and fake. Which I think is kind of silly. Our friend AJ Kirsch,
yes,
who is also known as Superstar Buzz from 2K19, and I think he's going to be in 2K20 also. Great guy. We met him a couple times, and he's fantastic. Yeah. But he sort of put out there on Twitter, what does everybody think of the word mark?
Mm-hmm. And how it was defined, I think, originally and versus how it's defined
because
today.
I think he was responding to somebody else who might be on the Pro Wrestling Sheet Show sometimes. I forget the dude's name, but he said, I really wish that the term mark would disappear. I don't really care. I mean, it's not a big deal to me. Like, we call ourselves marks all the time because it's funny, But he said, what do you guys think about, the dynamic, the idea of the dynamic between the industry and the fans? And it really got me thinking, especially in the context of this Ronda Rousey Becky Lynch thing, the mistrust that has sort of developed over the past 100 years. But no other industry is like this.
Oh, yeah.
Between fan and sport, or fan and product.
I think there's
because of the nature of it
extends beyond distrust to almost like a resentment
between both sides.
Yeah.
In any other, here's the thing. So somebody on Twitter, I mentioned this the other day, in response to the Ronda Becky thing, posted a still from the best Star Wars movie, what was the last one? The Last Jedi? Yeah, The Last Jedi.
The best one. You didn't know the name of it.
Whatever the last one that came out was. That wasn't Solo. It was a still. I know, I'm going to get comments now. It was a still of Kylo Ren with his lightsaber facing off against Mark Hamill, right? Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And like the caption is, "Oh, Kylo Ren, I know your lightsaber is just CG. You can't take me down with that," or something like that. Making a reference to Ronda calling Becky's armbar fake.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that analogy doesn't work. You know why? Because if I were to reach out to Mark Hamill and he was kind enough to answer a tweet of mine, and I said, "Hey, what was the process for XYZ?" Do you think he would mock me?
No.
No. They are so, every other entertainment media is so open with process,
yes,
and they're transparent.
Wrestling is not.
Hey, wrestler, I want to know more. Mark.
I know.
You know?
Why?
And I don't think I'm using this as a general statement, and I love pro wrestling, and all my interactions with pro wrestlers have been nothing but fun.
Yes.
And you do, as a fan, you have to respect the fact that there are secrets, like in the world of magic, that they just want to keep, within the industry
and be protected, essentially. Yes,
exactly. Yeah, there is still that element,
and it's
because pro wrestling is so weird.
It is. There's a weird dichotomy with that, because in one sense, I think the mystery about it is part of what creates the magic when it works right.
Yeah.
But that just feeds into the idea. Well, I want to know how that magic is created.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't know.
And fans shouldn't be dumped on for wanting to know process. Now, when fans are belligerent about it, just in the same way as the pro wrestling industry can be belligerent about things, then you need to draw a line and you say, hey, you know what? They're just curious. And fans, guess what? You just have to deal with it. These are people entertaining. Don't be belligerent about things. There's a level of toxicity that really just needs to stay out of things.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
But
totally.
With all of that said, that's why I think the crowd was just kind of, and myself, I was just sort of confused by the ending, because oh, so now she can just sort of turn on arm bars and she annihilates Becky Lynch.
Well, she just turned on real arm bars.
Right, yeah. And now Becky Lynch can't. And I think I understand the idea of what they were getting at. It's, hey, they've got this great social media feud going where, the idea of fake versus real is being played out. Let's play that out on TV and really leave this crowd wondering. Because here's the thing. I know a lot of people think Charlotte's in that match to take the loss, but at this point, that is meaningless if Becky doesn't tap out Ronda Rousey with the armbar that Ronda Rousey called fake.
Yeah,
it's meaningless.
In which this kind of furthers the idea, is like, why is Charlotte even in this match?
Yeah, I know, it does. I
just realized it's not recording for some reason.
Yeah,
I pressed record.
Ooh, living on the edge, man.
I guess
that's
so.
Okay, that's okay.
Well, hopefully this all works out.
Yeah. So that being said, we'll get into the minutia of the show because we're 18 minutes deep.
But before we do that, Steve, we got some business to take care
of. Yes, we do.
So I'll start with that. Before we move on, here's a word from the sponsor for today's episode, HelloFresh. HelloFresh is a meal kit delivery service that shops, plans, delivers step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients to your door.
HelloFresh does all the planning, shopping, and prepping and makes conquering the kitchen a reality with delicious, simple recipes. Each meal takes about 30 minutes to prepare, and they each call for less than 2 pots and pans. I don't like doing dishes, so I'm all about minimal cleanup.
I don't like doing dishes either.
Wait till your kids get older. They get to do them. It's great. They'll be happy.
Oh, okay. I'm sure they will. HelloFresh offers 3 meal plans to choose from: classic, veggie, or family. You can switch between the options whenever you like. Get out of the recipe rut and start cooking outside your comfort zone by discovering new, delicious recipes with HelloFresh.
We had a chance to try HelloFresh, and it's our favorite meal kit delivery service. The wide variety of recipes offered is impressive, and the food is fantastic. I especially love meatloaf burgers.
Ooh.
I love me some meatloaf, and I love burgers, Larson.
Put them together.
Exactly. Oof. Magnifique. And right now, friendos can take advantage of HelloFresh's special offer. Get $80 off your first month by going to HelloFresh.com/GoingInRaw80 and using promo code GoingInRaw80.
That's right. You can get $20 off your first 4 boxes by going to HelloFresh.com, Going In Raw 80, HelloFresh.com/Going In Raw 80, and entering promo code Going In Raw 80, all one word.
And of course, thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's show. And you're really helping out Going In Raw by going to HelloFresh.com/Going In Raw 80 and using the promo code Going In Raw 80, all one word.
Yes, thank you, HelloFresh.
And hello, Roman Reigns. He comes down to kick off the show.
About 20 minutes in, we're actually talking about the Raw.
That was a good conversation we had.
It was all good stuff. Yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Nate Ryan he'll get all the time codes for
exactly.
it. Pin it to the top.
Exactly. Roman Reigns comes to the ring. Why did they just do Chill Roman from the beginning?
Oh, he's so likable.
Yeah.
He's so likable.
Immensely.
He's so likable.
He's just so laid back, calling everybody man.
I feel like
so informal.
Entire thing was just him talking.
Yeah.
And whether it was scripted out, which it probably was, or it was just, properly written for him, it was really good.
It was really good. It was really effective.
Yeah.
He just comes across as a really good dude.
He says, there's
something I want. There's one person standing between me and that thing. Seth Rollins, come down here.
I think he talked a little bit first about like his priorities though, since coming back.
Yeah.
He said, I'm back now and I'm taking back, this is our yard or something like that.
Last week was my comeback. This week we take back the yard.
Yeah, exactly. He's being all-inclusive chill Roman now. He just wants everybody to be chill. So anyways, yeah, like you said, he says, Seth, come on down.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I thought you were going to do, what's the...
That was more 10 for the win than Price is Right.
That was literally just, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, what is Price is Right?
Oh, it's not too dissimilar in that.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
That was Dallas.
Anyways, you don't know what Dallas theme song sounds like. Seth
I do know what it is.
I'm impressed. What about Falcon Crest?
Nope.
All right. Dynasty?
No.
What about Airwolf? Do you remember how Airwolf goes?
It's more sinister, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was not an Airwolf fan.
What about Knight Rider? Remember that one? Yeah. Anyways, all right. So Seth comes down. He's like, all right, I know what you
Dynasty.
want.
Do you know Dynasty?
Hell no. I never watched that.
Falcon Crest?
Don't remember that
either. Was that a Nom one?
No.
Which one was the Nom
That was
one?
another like evening soap opera.
Yeah.
Like Dynasty was. Or Dallas.
I thought there was like a kind of a
because Dynasty was the one with Joan Collins in it, right?
Probably.
So which one was the Falcon Crest? Something from the 80s, I remember. Anyways, Seth comes down and he's like, "Yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. We need to talk this over."
He says, I know what's going through your head. I'm Universal Champion. Wait, did Roman say that? Did he say he's been holding down Raw? No, Seth said his bit first.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to take Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania, the Universal Championship. But if anybody deserves that shot of Brock Lesnar, I know what you're thinking.
It's you, so let's talk about it.
It's you.
And then Roman says, I thought you knew everything. You got it all wrong, man.
Yeah. You're such a good guy, but you're not right this time.
He's like, you've been holding it down here on Raw.
This was one of my favorite bits, by the way, because he said, there's been one man here on Raw that's been holding it down since I've been gone. And one jerk in the crowd says, yeah, Finn Balor. I was cracking up.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, Finn Balor.
That's pretty funny.
So anyways, yeah, he says that.
He says, that's you, Seth. And, you earned your spot. I'm not going to take that from you. So all I got to say about that is, good luck, brother.
Oh, man. Everybody's all crapping their pants. He's going to be in the Universal title match.
Man,
they're going to push him straight to the top.
Well, they are. He's going to still be top guy, but he's not going to be in that Universal title picture for a little bit.
I think he's going to. He said this literally last week.
I know.
He said, I want my platform to be, I want to use the platform to inspire people and to give them hope.
Yep.
The way that the audience gave me, the WWE Universe gave me hope and inspiration.
He's above titles at this point.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yep. He says, but I want a favor of you, Seth. And Seth says, yeah, anything for you. And then Roman says, I want to get the band back together last time.
This was really heartfelt and cute because he was like, the one thing that I've learned is that it could be gone tomorrow. Everything can be gone tomorrow. Yes. And you got to live in the now.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah,
I really did.
It was good.
And then Seth said, I'll give you anything but that. Dean, I don't know what his deal is. He's crazy.
And then Roman implores him, life's too short. If anything, if dealing with his treatment, taught him anything, is that it's all about the relationships you've made with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on that. Do it for me. Seth says, all right, I'll do it for you, Roman. Roman says, all right, we got 2 out of the 3. Bring Dean down. Dean walks out to the ramp. Elias lays him out with guitar. We don't get Dean's answer yet.
No.
Yet. After that, we have a Drew, Barron, and Lashley interview. They're just saying like they said the power lies with them, but no one pointed at their hand.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I do appreciate though that Roman said, as Dean was walking away here, you pick up Roman saying, "Who does Elias think he is, anyways?"
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
So yeah, we're still dealing with Drew, Barron, and Lashley together. I'm hoping
that Fastlane will be the last of it.
It needs to be, man.
But really last night they had a match against Finn Balor, Kurt Angle, and Braun Strowman. This match was actually kind of fun, especially the finish.
Yeah, it was a fun match, but because Drew McIntyre is great. That bit where Braun went flying through the barrier through Leo Rush and annihilated him.
Leo Rush was like that. The timing on that spot where Finn goes for the second plancha and Leo sprints around the ring to grab his foot. The timing on that was so perfect.
I know. Leo, that dude is a master of the speed force, man. He can go.
Well, it's timing too. Timing is very impressive. There's a bit of a false finish. Braun hits a power slam on Baron. Finn follows up with the coup de grace. Only for Leo to put Finn's foot on the rope during the pinfall. Of course, he can't do that. That's illegal.
It's illegal. He can't
against
do that.
the rules. So Finn starts chasing Leo ringside. Lashley catches him, drives him to the ring post. Dong. Right around then, Braun, as you mentioned, shoulder tackles Leo Rush through the barricade. Always impressive to see.
Yeah.
People go through the barricade.
Leo can take a beating, man.
Yeah. Back in the ring, Bob Lashley pins Finn after spear. Heels start attacking the faces after the bell. They set up the ring steps like on the apron. Angle is driven face first into it. And then Finn's laid out by a Claymore, then a choke slam on the ring steps by Corbin and Lashley. Ouch.
Ouch. Ouch indeed. After that, we had a Heavy Machinery interview. This was terrible.
This was
Charlie.
not good.
Charlie had set up this wasn't really a hidden camera because it's just a camera. It wasn't like GTV. It was like a straight up cameraman.
No, it was just a camera. There was a camera in the loser locker room.
In the loser locker room. They focused a lot on the loser locker room this episode.
They did.
I mean, Hulu's going to be so happy. They're like,
oh,
man, I know exactly what
we
to
can
cut
get this
out.
down to an hour. Ascension is they're talking trash about Heavy Machinery. And, of course, they're mean-spirited about it, whereas Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins and B-Team are talking trash in like a jovial manner.
Well, they're just happy that there's new competition here.
Yeah, but they were still, like poking fun at Heavy Machinery.
Yeah, because they're terrible. Because Heavy Machinery is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no different than anything I would do.
But it's just the tone of it. Ascension was obviously mean-spirited.
Yeah.
So they cut back to Heavy Machinery and Otis in his shoot voice, really soft-spoken, says, sensitive. Hurt my feelings.
I'm not huge on that.
No.
I thought it was not good, man.
And then Tucky says something like, well, when people hurt Otis's feelings, they get hurt, so I'm going to make sure this happens. So apparently Tucker took it, he has Earl Hebner authority and made a match for himself.
Right. A fairly lengthy gauntlet match, too.
It just felt long. Actually, it wasn't that long. It just felt long.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Heavy Machinery, they're in a weird spot because they're like the monsters of the loser locker room. But they're not really in the main tag scene.
No, they're not.
I mean, hey,
but then I don't know. This whole storyline's not good.
Like, this isn't really a good advert. Like, if the Revival went to Vince and said, "Hey, we like the belts, but really we wanted more of a focus of tag team wrestling on Raw. You got 3 hours to work with," and he's like, "All right, fine, we'll do that." This isn't really a good advertisement for tag team wrestling.
No.
Yes, they're on TV. Yes, they get a gauntlet match, but it's so I like Ryder and Hawkins.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like the Ascension I don't know. I'm just not into it. Like I want all the I want unpredictability in the tag ranks. Like, man, I want any of these four teams. Kind of like on SmackDown. You got Thebar, New Day, Usos. I mean, right now you got kind of Miz and Shane. And granted, I know the club.
So Sandy and the club, yeah.
They're gone, but man, any of those teams can be there. None of them are really booked creatively in a hole right now. It's just they don't use Sanity or the club.
Yeah.
Like they could, within 5 episodes, they can get out of, purgatory.
Yeah.
On Raw, it would take way longer for any of those loser locker room teams.
It was pretty much just they need to rebooking a lot of these.
You don't take any of them seriously,
no.
so you don't care.
Well, here's the thing about Heavy Machinery. The one thing that could work in their favor, that can get them over, is their quirks in the ring. Mm-hmm. Specifically Otis. Mm-hmm. I'm not huge into the worm thing, but at least it provides some character to them as a tag team.
Yeah.
And he's going to be super sensitive and get his feelings hurt backstage, and then when he comes out to the ring, there's none of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they're booking them to their strengths. So later on, we had a gauntlet match that was largely forgettable. Next, Natalya versus Ruby Riott. I thought this feud was over. I don't know why. I don't understand why this match happened. They said there was unfinished business, but it seemed pretty, definitive at the end of their feud.
Yeah, they had Natalya's dad printed on a table.
Yeah, and the Ruby Riott went through that table.
Didn't Natalya have her own Ruby Riott table?
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Was that it?
I don't remember at this point.
Yeah, I think the Neidhart table was fine. I think the Ruby, wasn't there like a Ruby Riott table?
Maybe, yeah. In the end, though, Ruby Riott went through a table. She lost. That was
because Ruby produced the Neidhart table, and
a couple weeks before, yeah.
And then Natalya came out with her own. I think that was it, right? Am I imagining that?
I don't know.
2K20. That's one thing I want to see.
Oh yeah, custom tables.
Yeah,
yeah. This was a really short match. It was just kind of odd. In the end, Ruby is put in the sharpshooter. She escapes into a roll-up, and Natalya reverses that roll-up into her own roll-up and gets the win. Right as the match ended, Lacey Evans walks down.
I was really into that theory from one of our friendos, and I'm sorry I forget who, that said Lacey Evans, every time she'd come down, she'd come a little further, and she would take off her gloves last time. This time, she didn't make it to the bottom ramp. None of her clothes came off. So... And
they started referring to her as a sassy Southern Belle last night. That wasn't her character. It was in NXT.
Man, I don't know. If you read the dirt sheets, she's set for a massive push.
I guess so.
I'm sure she's fine. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's such a crime what they've done with those initial call-ups, the reactionary call-ups. It's a crime. It really is.
Especially EC3.
Especially... do I have to start watching Main Event if I want to get my EC3
Apparently,
fix?
unless you're content with him spraying water on his body.
I mean, I guess it's better being on the Pursuit channel.
Next, backstage, Steph's in her office. Michael Che and Colin Jost from Saturday Night Live.
Man, I'm a big fan of Saturday Night Live. I'm not a big fan, unless your name is Jon Stewart, of late-night comedians coming to Raw. It's always awkward and weird.
Yeah, it's a little cringy.
And this was super awkward and cringy and weird.
Mm-hmm.
I really like these guys, though. I think they're fantastic on Saturday Night Live.
No, I really like them too. But apparently they're going to be special correspondents at WrestleMania. The whole joke of their appearance last night was that Michael Che was a lot more familiar with the wrestling industry, whereas Colin not so much.
Yeah, Colin was playing the goofy.
They're in Philadelphia. He says, "Yeah, I'm happy to WrestleMania's taking place, the greatest city in the world, New York." He puts a Mets cap on.
Yeah,
boos from the crowd,
and it's all he puts it on all goofy.
Well, it's like
he was hamming it up.
Velcro strap one, and the strap was hanging off the back.
He was just hamming it up.
Yeah, it's pretty goofy. After that, right before Triple H does his extended promo, we get a Batista Instagram promo that was short. Delivery solid.
Man, this dude, acting with some premier directors.
Hell yeah, man.
Gravitas is doing some direction of his own. He's so good. He's so flippin' good, man.
He's incredible, man.
Good for him. You read any of that? I didn't actually read any of it. Just the little bits that showed up on headlines about him talking about what his goals are as an actor.
Yeah, man.
How he's not interested in
he wants to work with real directors on real movies.
He wants to work with auteurs, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
hats off to Batista.
He's like, I don't want to be The Rock. I don't want to be Cena.
Yeah.
He says, I want
to be an actor.
I want to be an actor.
I'm an actor.
I'm an actor. So anyways, he says, I didn't show up in Philadelphia because I didn't want to.
I don't like Philadelphia.
I don't like Philadelphia. It's not because I had something else scheduled. It's not because I was injured. I just didn't want to go.
And I don't like Pittsburgh terribly either, but we'll see if I show up next week or not.
Yeah. That was awesome.
He says, game's over. See what I did there?
I loved it.
He's great.
I loved it.
Then Triple H came to the ring. His promo was long, extended, very heartfelt, talking about what not Ric Flair, the character, meant to him, but Richard Fliehr, the man, meant to him. The ups and downs of their friendship, relationship.
He's there for my ups and downs. I've been there for his ups and downs. He came to my wedding. Wait, did he?
No,
that doesn't make any sense. He said something like he came, I don't know, whatever, and then he says, I've been there for a couple of his weddings. I couldn't make all of them. That was a pretty funny line.
Because Ric Flair's been married a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. was a pretty long promo.
He talked about how when Flair had his near-death experience last year, how every time his phone rang, he expected it to be the call.
Yeah.
That he had passed away.
Yeah.
And so he said the fact that Dave denied Richard Fleer another opportunity to be Ric Flair in the middle of that ring is what really pissed him off.
Oh, and he mentioned being there for Reed's funeral too. That's always heartbreaking. So yeah, and he says you're not looking at the character, you're looking at the man.
You're not talking to the game, you're talking to the man. But
Paul
just didn't call himself Paul.
Paul.
If he had called himself Paul, it'd be really another time when
here's my social security number. I'm a real person.
My address. We did invite him to his house.
I'm in the system. Yeah.
He says I don't care where. I'll come to your house. Heck, I'll invite you to my house. Come over and tell me what you want, and I'll give it to you.
We've got a nanny who makes a great quiche. It's delicious. And then, of course, lots of salmon. That's still my favorite Triple H story.
That's a good story.
And I know that some of them might not know it. Of course, our big buddy. You know a lot of people named Scam Likely on your phone. Our good buddy Jeff from the Four Lights podcast. He went to, I think it was a scholarship dinner for the Hollywood something or another.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It was a big banquet, and the guest stars for this thing for people getting scholarships to whatever this thing was stars of the WWE. This is during the Attitude Era.
It was Vince and Triple H.
Vince, Triple H. I think maybe Stephanie. I don't. Maybe not.
I don't remember.
I've been too early. I know Vince and Triple H were there. And Jeff said, yeah, he was just looking at Triple H the whole time. And the entire time he was just scarfing, because the salmon was the meal. He would just scarf down salmon and wave somebody over. I need more salmon.
Yeah, man, he needs his protein.
He needs his protein. He was jacked.
He was jacked. So the end of it was essentially, Dave, let's have a face-to-face because we're going to fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
We're good to fight. Man, what will we give him for promos for the Going In Raw Math? His promos are killer these days.
Yeah.
Like if you go back to 1997, it's like maybe a 6.
Yeah, I think he's probably a 7 or 8 these days.
These days, he's like at least an 8 or a 9, man.
We gave Jericho an 8, and Jericho's a better promo than Triple H's.
Well, he brings something different to the table.
I feel like Jericho's more like he can do any
well-rounded.
Yeah, he can do high drama. He can do comedy.
Triple H 7, Jericho. What do we give him, a 9?
I think give him an 8.
An 8? Probably can give him a 9.
Yeah, we should give him a 9.
But before we continue, here's a word from our sponsor, forhims.com. Sexual performance issues are way more common than you'd think. For example, upwards of 25%, that's 1 in 4, of new ED cases are guys under 40.
Your math is sound. And 40% of guys struggle with ED by the age of 40. But why try odd solutions, or worse yet, do nothing, when you can turn to medicine and science?
Science!
With forhims.com, you can get your hands on well-known generic equivalents to brand-name prescriptions to combat ED.
With Hims, you don't have to waste time sitting in a waiting room. You avoid all those awkward conversations with your doctor because Hims offers prescription solutions backed by science to deal with your ED.
Yeah, just go to forhims.com, answer a few questions, have a quick and confidential review with a doctor, and products are shipped directly to your door.
Being your best means performing your best, and right now, Going In Raw listeners can try a month of Hims for only $5 while supplies last. Go to forhims.com/GIR5. That's forhims.com/GIR5. This would cost you hundreds if you went to a pharmacy or the doctor.
Thanks to forhims.com for sponsoring today's episode, and you're really helping out Going In Raw by going to forhims.com/GIR5.
Next up, we had a Stephanie McMahon interview. This is where things got kind of weird, man.
Yeah.
She says the charges against Becky Lynch have been dropped and her suspension is over.
Yeah, she said this is apparently what's best for business.
Mm-hmm. And she said, by the way, we've also invited Becky. She's in the arena tonight, and we're going to have her sign the much ballyhooed.
Oh, yes. We love ourselves these hold harmless agreements. Nothing says riveting television like
a hold harmless
agreement. She needs to sign this agreement because she's going to have a match against Charlotte at Fastlane for the now vacant Raw Women's Championship.
Okay, so I don't really care that this is technically, because a lot of people on Twitter were talking about this. Even Lance Storm said this. Isn't it weird that two female competitors from SmackDown now going to be fighting for that? I don't care about that. Like, Becky won the Rumble, which automatically should put her in the match, but whatever. Things happen.
Mm-hmm.
So she is on whatever brand she wants to be on, and that's Raw. So she's there. She's on Raw.
Yes.
Yeah, so Charlotte, SmackDown participant, whatever. She was added to the Raw Women's title match, so she's on Raw also.
For the time being, yes.
Right.
They both have SmackDown lower thirds, though.
They do?
Yeah.
Really?
Last night they did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that is weird. If they're going to go to those lengths, that's just weird.
Well, I guess technically they're still part of the SmackDown roster until one of them wins the title, because they still do show up on SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't know. That aspect of it doesn't really bug me.
No, it doesn't bug me either.
Even, I suppose, the idea that the title was vacated. I think here's one thing that kind of bugs me. And I might not be consistent on this, but in situations like this, it does bug me. So last week, Ronda Rousey lays that title down at Stephanie's feet, right? 7 days later, Stephanie announces that it's vacated. And then Ronda shows up and says, no, I don't want to vacate.
I was trying to make a point.
You've had 7 days. You can't pick up your phone and say, so wait, did you vacate this or what?
I know.
Like, that to me, it was like back during the Sasha Bailey stuff. Like, they hadn't talked for the previous 7 days, and I'm pretty sure during that time they had run one of those road trip. What is it called?
The ride-alongs.
Ride-along, where it shows they clearly ride along together. They, like, travel together. Like, if that's the kind of stuff that bugs me. If Stephanie's just going to willy-nilly say, oh, I thought you were vacating. Like, you're making a pay-per-view match for this title, and then all of a sudden, oh, no, okay, here, I guess you could just have that now. Yeah, I don't know. Man. Anyways. What are you looking up there?
No, someone, Austin Luff says, go read Enzo's tribute to Bundy on Twitter.
Was it a good read?
He confuses them with George the Animal Steel.
Oh, my God. I'm so glad he's gone. Anyways, so, yeah. I wouldn't have even cared if, like, she said, yeah, the title's vacant. We're going to have that match at Fastlane. I was kind of confused by it, but I was like, okay, well, that's an interesting little twist.
Well, I mean.
And then at the end, Ronda comes back and says, no, I didn't really vacate it.
Hold on. So this is the full thing. I'm sorry for the detour here. It says, Rip King Kong Bundy, the epitome of pro wrestling. I recall going to shows in Madison Square Garden with my grandparents. My grandma, Raffaella, loved him and hyped him up the whole ride in. Plenty of wrestlers rested all that night, but I never forgot the guy with the green tongue who ate the turnbuckle. Of course, the reference to George the Animal Steel. So maybe it's just that first line strictly a reference to King Kong Bundy. Everything else just a reference to wrestling.
You are giving him way too much credit.
It's just written so vaguely that I guess I don't know if that was his intention or not.
Yeah, I think he literally is getting them confused.
Entirely possible.
So after that, we had Dean and Roman backstage.
Roman was like, hey, do you want to join S.H.I.E.L.D.? And he's like, nah.
Heck of a setup you got here. You know we have a locker room, right?
Yeah.
That was cute.
There's always a place for you in there.
Yeah.
Again, Roman, a locker room leader.
And just chill.
Man, totally chill.
Just chill. I got some Coronas over there.
Yeah, man. Got a couple cold ice, cold beverages.
Man, I think we did our part in showing what Chill Roman could be on Steven Larson Book of Raw. Obviously, the right people are watching, and this is how we influence.
I think so. I was always kind of pessimistic that was going to be.
We don't need to get paid by WWE. We don't need to be
our influence.
writers.
We're above paychecks.
We're above brand, man.
Yeah. In the end, Dean says, no, I'm not going to do it. It wasn't this one. It was one with Seth where he had like a little like cave made of curtains.
Yeah,
he just sat on. That was weird. Next, this tag team gauntlet match. Heavy Machinery taking on Loser Locker Room. First, it was Heavy Machinery versus B Team. How they've fallen.
Yeah, they were hot stuff for didn't they win the titles one
They
point?
did.
Oh, man.
Otis pins Bo after the compactor. Next, Heavy Machinery versus the Ascension. Tucker is the one getting worked over until it gets the hot tag to Otis. Otis pins Victor after a Vader bomb. And then finally, Heavy Machinery over Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Decent back and forth here, but in the end, Otis pins Hawkins after a pop-up power slam followed by the worm elbow.
I guess I just really want that Ryder Hawkins story. I mean, that's just my own personal preference.
Yeah, we were going to get Heavy Machinery instead.
I'd rather have that. I know, and it bums me out.
They tried pushing it during this match because a couple times there was near pinfall. Like, oh, is the streak over?
Yeah.
So they're kind of low-key pushing it. I noticed for the first half of the show, was that there were only 3 matches in the first hour and a half.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Including this gauntlet match, I believe. But
the gauntlet match is really like 4 matches. So
I know, but it was also short.
So it's loaded.
After that, another segment with hosts of Weekend Update, Michael Che, Colin Jost. They're walking around the backstage area. They see EC3 spraying himself with a water bottle, looking in a mirror.
Yeah.
He should be doing a lot more than that. I
know. Like, come on. These guys are like really good talkers. Like, Weekend Update guys, super quick, super smart.
And EC3's top skill is his promo skills, and they don't let him talk ever.
Have him go with them.
I know.
That'd be perfect.
That would be good.
Or bring back Jon Stewart.
They run into Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil wants a picture taken with Michael Che. Doesn't care about Colin Jost. No Way Jose and the Conga line run by after a picture is taken.
I always keep an eye on those conga lines. I always want to see local talents. Didn't recognize anybody today.
No, not this week. Next, Charlotte interview. It's kind of more of the same. Someone in the comments was taking us to task for our woos.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they understand the point of it is not to be a legitimate Ric Flair woo. I think once Charlotte did a slow woo like that.
Yeah, and then there's like that one Flair. In that 2K, they highlighted in the 2K19 commercial from a couple months ago or whatever, where you see Flair go.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's slow woo. Me too.
I think it's funny.
I think it's great. After that, Dean and Seth were backstage. Dean built himself a little curtain cave.
Yeah, it's a fort.
Yeah,
I put one of those.
Yeah.
In my office for Bama this past weekend.
And Seth's like, hey, we had our issues, but rise above. Let's do it for Big Dog. Dean unmoved. After that, he had a match to get ready for too against Elias. Elias sang a nice little song about Philadelphia. I mean, it wasn't nice.
Pretty fun.
It wasn't nice. It was pretty mean-spirited, but it was nice.
Funny.
It was melodic and it was reasonably humorous.
You know how I know I'm in Philly? Because he said something like, because the kids have no future here whatsoever. And then all the women look like Gritty.
Gritty, and that Bryce Harper told him that's where his career would go to die.
Yeah. It's factual, though.
That led to Elias versus Dean Ambrose. Elias, somewhat surprisingly, picked up a win with a drift away.
Yeah,
he countered that top rope knee with a vicious V trigger.
Yeah. This was kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Dean's in a really weird spot right now.
He is, where people think he's going to stay, but some other people still are convinced that he's leaving.
Well, I mean, Roman Ryan Satin tweeted out something similar. He was like, has there been any other instance of the WWE being so open about the fact that some dude is probably going to leave and be a free agent?
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often.
And because Roman, he literally said last night, I don't know if he's staying here or if he's going to leave. And then Renee Young said something about he's looking to go off to greener pastures. And then Cole and Corey Graves said something like, there are no greener pastures. This is WWE. I wonder if that was Vince.
Probably.
Greener what?
Nothing's greener.
Next week. I don't know, somebody's replaced Renee Young. But they still have the Renee Young gimmick.
Yeah. So after the match, Seth and Roman walk out to the top of the ramp. Apparently stand up there for about 2 minutes because we get a commercial break. Did a couple of really oddly timed commercial breaks last night.
Yeah.
Come back from commercial. They walk down the ring. A little bit of bickering between Roman, Seth on one side, Dean on the other. Ultimately, he leaves the ring kind of in a huff and exits up through the crowd. He gets to the top of the nearly to the concourse. Once he's there, Baron, Drew, and Lashley come to the ramp.
Boo.
They have Baron start talking. Eventually, though, Drew takes the mic. They start walking towards the ring.
We're gonna finish this right now.
And then Drew challenges the Shield to a match at Fastlane. Heels surround the ring. They attack. Ambrose, they do these quick cutaways where he's all, Urgh!
Oh, that was so bad.
It was terrible.
It was like that. It was like that clip from Bohemian Rhapsody that's been going around Twitter that illustrates how crappy the editing was. Oscar-winning editing team. Because the clips were so antsy to get back to the generic action that they would go on him for a moment and then go back, and so you couldn't really even tell what his thought process was.
You just see him.
Yeah.
Kind of upset, or he was boxing along with the heels. You couldn't really tell.
Is he doing like a Damien Sandow thing?
Yeah, either he's pantomiming or he's angry.
Right.
You can't really tell.
Yeah.
Anyways, he runs back towards the ring, makes the save. Shield clears Ambrose, Seth, and Roman clear the ring. Roman puts his hand out. Seth puts his hand out. And Dean's in the background.
And paces back and forth and finally goes.
Yeah.
And it's all on the camera. It's a good little moment there.
So Shield's back together for like the 6th time.
I feel like it's cursed, man. I just want them to do this match at Fastlane. Nobody gets hurt, and then just move on from the Shield stuff.
Let me ask you this.
What?
Well, that's how they're framing it. Last ride for the Shield.
Yeah.
Say Dean stays.
Mm-hmm.
They have this match. Do you think Dean could turn on them again just to set up a match between him and Roman at Mania? Because that was the original plan, I guess, was Roman versus Dean. Whether he stays or leaves, I would say.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah.
However, it also wouldn't surprise me if they don't want to. I don't know. Yeah, maybe, I guess.
Because if Roman's healthy, which he seems to be because he's having a match at Fastlane, he's going to have a match at Mania.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, maybe I could do that. Yeah. I mean, people seem so. My only hesitation is people seem so lukewarm at the idea of Dean, anyways.
Oh
like,
yeah, no,
Dean, especially Dean as a heel.
Yeah,
that I don't know if the fact that they did it once and it just went over like a turd and nobody cared makes me think, man, I don't know if they think there'd be any heat behind that.
I don't know. But
turning on Roman might be something. Did you notice? Like the funny thing is when Roman was talking about the universe, when Seth said you deserve a shot at Brock. The audience seems so like hesitant.
Yeah,
they're like, "Hey, we're happy you're back, but don't go back to doing that, please."
Yeah, I know.
And I think they popped more when he was like, "No, man, I don't want that. I just want to be chill. Good luck."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, thank God, we're not going to start forcing him." You know?
I know.
Because they do need to be careful with that. Let's see here. Next up, we had Tamina versus Sasha Banks in a Fastlane preview. Is that right? Are they going to have a match at Fastlane for the tag team championships?
No, the Revival versus
Sasha Banks and Bayley.
Sorry. Yeah,
they're having a match, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But this was a sort of preview of sorts. Tamina versus Sasha Banks. All sorts of distractions on the outside with Nia Jax. Sasha had locked in the bank statement on Tamina, but Nia Jax pulled Tamina out of the ring. Nia then distracts Sasha. She destroys Bayley, right? Bayley comes over there and Nia destroys her.
Yeah.
Sasha does something, gets back in the ring.
Eats a super kick.
Super kick.
Last, Michael Che, Colin Jost segment backstage. Michael Che says, I got to go to the bathroom. Says, you want to come with me? And Colin says, no, I don't need to go to the bathroom with you. Or was it the other way around?
It was the other way around. He said, do you want me to go with you? And Michael Che was like, to the bathroom? He was like, no, just mind your own business. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's a very dangerous place, apparently, backstage for celebrities.
Or for people who aren't in the wrestling business. So anyways, Colin runs into Braun. He tries to make small talk with him. And then says, let me ask you something. Is any of this stuff even real?
And then Braun freaking
grabs him by the throat and picks him up.
Very Darth Vader-esque move right there.
And then we go to commercial. Again, another oddly timed commercial break. After commercial, we come back. Michael Che has returned. He and some refs apparently have broken up the situation.
Yeah. Yeesh, Colin. What are you doing, man?
He's rubbing people the wrong way. That's what he's doing.
I wonder how much of that Twitter beef over the weekend spurred some inspiration within Vince McMahon to come in and rewrite it and start writing everything around the idea that wrestling is fake.
Maybe. Just reveling in it at this point.
Yeah.
Next, Revival defending the tag team titles against Ricochet and Aleister Black. There's a Ricochet and Aleister interview right at gorilla position.
This was cool. I like this.
Yeah, it was really good.
Ricochet did most of the talking. Aleister got a little piece in about fading to black. And Ricochet goes, it was at the Gorilla, so Ricochet goes through the curtain first because his entrance is first.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I really hope they didn't plan out what Aleister's going to do after Ricochet leaves. But instead, with much authority, he just goes off in the wrong direction.
He just walks out screen left, yeah.
Exactly. I was like...
He probably had to go around the other side to get in position for his entrance.
I really just... Oh, that's right, because he comes in from the side. I really just wanted to mill about a Gorilla.
I know.
You know,
just
like...
kind of standing.
Don't know what to do with my hands. I've got three many hands.
I have 3 many moments to think about what I'm going to do. Match begins, and then Bob Roode and Chad Gable just wander ringside like they think they belong there. They've lost those titles.
Yeah.
There's no automatic rematches.
Yeah. You want to get a ticket. Sit ringside.
Exactly.
You can't just wander down.
So at one point, Revival's outside the ring, ringside. Roode and Gable decide to start beating them up. Ref calls for the bell. They win by disqualification. Of course, Ricochet and Aleister Black are like, WTF, guys. This is our tag title opportunity. What are you doing?
Oh, man. What did Aleister Black say? He yelled at me. I tweeted this out. He said, no mic on him or anything. He just said, this is how you conduct yourself?
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Oh, man.
And so Roode and Gable get in the ring, start some stuff, start some pushing. Fight happens. Ricochet and Aleister clear the ring. It ends where
They do a cool thing.
Does the moonsault, sits, and then a Ricochet.
While at the same time,
yeah,
does his thing where he goes, and then
does his pose.
And they land in the same. It was great. That was awesome.
Cool. Yeah, those guys are awesome.
That was really cool.
Finally, main event segment.
Hey, so wait a second.
What?
Rude and Gable. What
about
that's like a heel thing, right? It's a heel turn.
Kind of.
It is. It totally is.
Yeah, kind of.
They just beat up. They took the opportunity away.
But first, they beat up the heels.
Yeah, but Revival are like they don't matter. They're like leaving anyways, like in a year. Yeah, and so like they're the good guys, Aleister Black and Ricochet.
There was good guys,
and then the bad guys,
and there was top guys.
Exactly, they're not good guys or bad guys. They're top guys.
They exist above all that because they're top guys.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm kind of interested in this Rude Gable. I wonder how many of those shirts you think they sell? Because they're purple. They're kind of ugly.
They look like the old Evolution logo a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Anyways, finally, main event segment. Hold, harmless, agreement, signing, riveting main event segment television.
Who doesn't love that?
So Stephanie comes to the ring. So it was pretty awkward because there was no table. So Stephanie had the Raw Women's title in one hand, the portfolio in the other hand, with the contract in it, and it was kind of like. And then she had to grab the microphone, so she had to have the folder and the belt in one hand and the mic in the other hand. She was like kind of fumbling. It was
really awkward.
Stuff. I don't know why didn't have a little.
I never know week to week if her leg is okay or not.
Oh, Becky's?
Well, she came out on the crutch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shoe wise, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, I know, but like storyline wise, what I'm talking about. Yeah. Because remember when she came in when she did the crutch bit, but then like does she keep on busting up her knee?
I don't know.
I get so lost.
Yeah. It's very confusing.
It's too much to keep track of.
So Stephanie down the ring first with all that stuff. Charlotte second, and then Becky. Becky signs the contract. There's some crap talk between Charlotte and Becky, where Charlotte says, "You know, why wait for? We don't need to bother with Fastlane. Just give me the belt. You obviously can't wrestle." And Becky says, "Yeah, let's not wait for Fastlane. Let's fight right now."
Yeah.
And then we go backstage, and Ronda is storming through the arena, headed towards the ring. But first,
that's some speed walk, man.
Commercial break.
Commercial break.
Come back from commercial. Ronda's down the ramp towards the ring. She says, "Steph, what are you doing?" She didn't mean to vacate the title. I want that title back. And Stephanie says, "All right, here you go."
Okay.
And just gives it back to her. And then Stephanie says the match at Fastlane is still happening, but now, rather than for the Raw Women's title, if Becky wins, she'll be added to the Raw Women's title match at WrestleMania. If she loses, she's done.
You're done. You're done.
And then Ronda proceeds to Micro Machine Man a promo, speaking exceptionally fast, on the crowd, saying, you know, hey, the fantasy's over. I came out here and did everything for you. I got booed out of the Staples Center, my hometown, because everybody's chanting Becky. They'll chant for Becky when she's not even there. Why does Kevin Owens have a Cassius Ohno shirt? That's Cassius Ohno's color scheme, man. Yellow and black.
That's also Undisputed Era's color scheme.
Oh, that's a good point.
Kevin Owens.
And seemingly a complete heel turn. She knocks Charlotte out of the ring and just goes after Becky. And there's a couple times where Charlotte thinks about getting into the ring.
Ooh.
That was great. And then Ronda kind of turns her attention towards her, and Charlotte goes, "No, I'm good."
Nope.
She gets out.
I'm good.
Twice, Ronda starts beating up on Becky. Actually, 3 times, I think. Puts her in the arm bar. Bunch of ground and pound. Punching her in the corner. Arm bar, and arm bar. But then, seemingly because Ronda just sped through her promo, there's a bunch of time at the end.
I was looking at I looked at my clock. I was like, oh, God, it's 7:56. They have 4 minutes to fill. That is an eternity, man.
Yeah. And so commentary tried. They said, to recap, this, and this. Oh, we're going to go backstage to interview with Stephanie.
Yeah, they recap, and they're able to get like 90 seconds out of it. You still have 2.5 more minutes
And so they cut to this interview with Stephanie where, like, halfway through, she pivots, it seems like. At first, she's like, this is, I'm happy to see that Ronda has unleashed her true self, essentially. But she's going to pay for what she did.
Yeah.
It was just kind of weird.
It was, so here's
obviously
the thing.
Unscripted because she had time she had to fill.
Stephanie is very, very good because she's been around a long time. She's obviously very smart. And she's like head of creative, whatever. She's very good at rambling and making it sound like it's like it was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But if you actually listen to the words that she said, it was kind of nonsense.
Yeah, it was complete nonsense.
But yeah, it was kind of obvious that it's so weird. Like, it's the same production team that does Raw and SmackDown, right? Like, why is the SmackDown always ends like perfectly?
I think people know.
Remember that Randy Orton RKO?
Yeah.
Like moments before the little copyright bug.
I know. I just think Ronda just ran through her promo too fast.
Yeah, I think she did, and That's
what it seemed like. Anyways, let's get a SmackDown preview in real quick before we take some questions, Steve.
All right, cool.
R-Truth to issue another United States Championship Open Challenge, asking himself, what would John Cena do? R-Truth took on both Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas when they answered his United States Championship Open Challenge this past week. With the two rivals focused on each other, Truth was able to roll up Mysterio and retain the title. Tonight, Truth will issue another Open Challenge for his Star-Spangled title. Who will step up and answer the call?
This time, is it going to be Rey that comes out and then Andrade runs past him?
Yeah.
The Miz to face Jey Uso. Just 5 nights before their SmackDown Tag Team Championship rematch at WWE Fastlane, The Miz and Jey Uso will square off in a they're going to square off in a one-on-one battle with momentum hanging in the balance.
Not square up, square off.
Oh, damn it. The Usos remain convinced that the A-lister is a joke and that Shane McMahon should find another tag team partner, though Shane O'Mac clearly disagreed when he made the rematch for Fastlane in The Miz's hometown of Cleveland. Can the Awesome One prove himself and gain momentum heading into the huge title match? Next.
Kevin Owens looking to gain more momentum heading into WWE Fastlane.
Hey, before you get kicked off, you see Kevin Owens made the save for AJ Styles at a house show?
Oh, no.
Big face reaction.
That's awesome. Mr. McMahon shocked the WWE Universe last Tuesday when he replaced Kofi Kingston in the WWE Championship match at Fastlane with returning Kevin Owens. KO teamed up with Kingston later that night, pitting WWE Champion Daniel Bryan with a thunderous stunner.
Ooh, what?
With just 5 nights remaining before their title showdown, what else might KO do to get the upper hand on Bryan?
Will the Hardy Boys continue their quest to become the greatest tag team? Last Tuesday, Matt and Jeff Hardy reunited as a tag team for the first time since 2017, defeating Thebar in a thrilling battle. In a WWE.com exclusive interview following their victory, the Hardy Boys said that they joined forces once again to prove to everyone that they are the greatest tag team in time and space.
Yes.
Will the Hardy Boys continue on this journey? Who might their quest lead them to next? Find out on SmackDown Live tonight at 8, 7 Central on USA Network. I'm assuming it's going to be Sanity, and Thebar will maybe interfere for some sort of DQ.
Fair enough.
That's my guess. Although, to be honest, if judging by last week's SmackDown, none of this stuff's going to happen.
Yeah, probably. Jack Daddy umpire. Oh, he's an umpire now. Rich Hardesty. Now that was the Ronda I've been begging to see.
Well, that's cool.
Rich Hardesty all about heel Ronda.
All about the shoot Ronda.
Tim Pierce. Power rank reasons WB has kept Alicia Fox around for 10 years.
She's a good worker, and when she's not coming in buzzed, she's professional.
Apparently, she'll just disappear for stretches.
Then I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
I don't know. Somebody's got a soft spot for her, I guess.
So I think she can be a good worker. Her character is very distinct. She's a good performer.
She's entertaining.
Yeah. But amongst all that stuff, talking about the Arn situation, one of the little things in there is like she'll just up and kind of. Now, I mean, I don't know if that meant she just wouldn't show up for work for extended periods, which I can't believe that would happen.
Yeah.
Or if they just meant she disappears from TV for stretches.
Well,
I don't know.
Those are pretty big differences.
Yes.
Nathan, what should this is on the Patreon? What should Ricochet and Aleister Black's tag team name be? He says he suggests the Finely Dressed Gentleman. That sounds like a Jack Gallagher thing.
No,
I
that's
don't
not,
like that.
That's not. That's
no
not,
good, Nathan.
Not good. Sorry, Nathan. No.
But what do you think their name should be? Blackochet.
I don't know. I gotta think about that one. Nick C. Sick day for me, boys. Did you see my tweets about what? What Nick C. Yeah. Oh, about the toy.
What toy?
It was Nick.
Well, that was an email.
Yeah, no, but he sent some tweets too.
Oh, okay.
With pictures from the Vegas toy show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like he had a good time. We met a bunch of superstars.
Here we are.
There you are.
Nick Combs.
Who we got here?
There was Christian.
Asuka.
RKO, Randy Orton, the Viper. Seth Rollins. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
That's like a good weekend.
Confirm Nicholas. Who's that? Nicholas Combs?
Yeah.
Nicholas Combs is member of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mr. Blue 7, he says, make kayfabe great again. I feel like kayfabe for the most part is a pretty archaic institution.
I agree with you. Greg Morris. So Ronda, get out of here, Patreon. I think you wrote this during the episode. So Ronda is clearly going to come out like Punk did with her title. Mania will be champ versus champ. And then Greg Morris continues later on. So clearly I was wrong. Clearly, Becky has to beat Ronda at Mania now, right?
Correct.
She has to. She has to.
Robbie Hyde, why do you think Corbin is still wearing a vest? Reminds me of when The Rock wore a shirt in '99 to cover the scars from his man boob surgery. I think I don't know. I don't know. I like that better than his ring gear. I like that he comes out and wrestles in a dress shirt.
I want him back in his ring gear with hair, man.
No, the hair was awful.
No, the hair was great.
It was terrible.
Well, I loved it because he was so proud. Like, you just rocking that. Yeah, I'm balding. Who cares?
I think it looks great with no hair.
He just looks like a weird thumb.
Zach Hughes, 94, won a WrestleMania moment. Ronda should just start wrestling the main event.
How about she jumps into all the matches and starts wrestling?
It's like a Dan Severn fantasy come true. Where
exactly.
He just jumps in every match and just beats him. Shoot.
That'd be great. Let's see here. Thayer Thabata says, does anybody else think that longtime Spanish commentator Carlos Cabrera should be in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, man.
Why not?
Oh, that's good.
Aaron, they need to stop playing with kayfabe. Curtains down permanently for Roman, but that's fine. The Triple H and Colin Jost segments, too much.
That is too much.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Hogan's leathery nutsack. I like how they showed the original Tori Wilson for her Hall of Fame induction and not whomever Tori Wilson is now. That's a very good point. They were showing footage of the original Tori Wilson.
During her original run, yeah. Well, there's a couple shots of her when she came out for the Women's Royal Rumble. Towards the end.
The fake,
NWO Tori Wilson.
NWO.
Jose Alaguna twice says, Steve, tell people about your new entrance music. What's your new entrance music?
Oh, yeah. There is this video that was on Twitter. Okay, so do you remember the Rebecca Black Friday video?
Yeah.
You know the story behind that, right? Rich kids, usually rich kids can just have this production company. The same people who did the Machinima, We Love Video Games.
You just write a check to them and they'll
pay like $10,000 and they'll put like a fancy music video. I'm almost positive it's the same exact thing because it felt like that.
Yeah.
There's a little rich-looking white kid singing Outkast's Miss Jackson. And it's so bad, but it's so hilarious. It's so bad. Me and your daughter. It's so bad. And I tweeted out, this is going to be my new entrance theme.
Oh, dear.
Me and your daughter.
Austin Love says, go read Enzo's tribute to Bundy on Twitter. Just did that.
It's actually a tribute to Georgie Animal Steel. So. Yeah. Let's see here. Toastmaster. Are the WWE breaking kayfabe in the Triple H and Batista story to make people think the Becky and Ronda Twitter beef was all on purpose? I think you're reading too much into it. I think maybe at most the Ronda Becky thing, maybe Vince started getting his head, this has people talking, so we're going to start doing this a lot more. I don't know.
I mean, like, Batista's Instagram handle is Dave Batista.
Yeah.
No secret what his first name is.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think people who are...
But Triple H specifically said character. You're not looking at the character.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Norgangi, can you start a tag team or faction math? Do the Shield.
We gotta do that now?
I guess. Here, hand me this Sharpie.
Here's a better one.
Did you do Kevin Owens math yesterday?
Yeah, solid 6+ wrestler. Yeah. Because it's too early for Legacy.
So Shield, huh?
Kevin Owens kayfabe 7, right?
Yeah, he's booked pretty strong.
Yeah, 7's good. I gave him a 5 for look because he kind of just looks like normal dude.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not dumping
for
him.
His Legacy 5?
Legacy, I gave him 5. Kayfabe 7. In-ring 8. Promo 9.
Yeah, he's a good promo.
Yeah.
All right, being good for the Shield. In-ring. I mean, Seth is one of the best in the world.
All three of them are really good. So I'd give him an 8.
Dean's not that great. 8 for in-ring. Promo. Dean can be a good promo. Seth is a good promo. Roman, when he's himself, is a good promo.
Yeah, I'd give him like a 7 promo.
Look, I mean, that SWAT gear was pretty cool.
But at the same time, they look more like a SWAT team than wrestlers. So I'd probably only give their look like...
You knock them for coming off as a vocational gimmick.
Yeah, 6.
No, they got to do 7, man. They look cool.
I won't argue with that.
Legacy. I mean, if you ask WWE, it's a 10. But I'll say an 8.
I think WWE wants their legacy to be a lot more than it is. But they are all world champions.
Yeah, it's an 8.
It's an 8.
Kayfabe, they've always been booked pretty strong. 8. Or you want to go 9 for kayfabe?
Oh, you got to go 9 for kayfabe.
All right, I think they're an 8. Wait, 14, 22, that's 7+. Sorry. 17, 20. No, they're an 8.
Yeah, they're solid 8 faction.
8 for the Shield.
Yeah, man. What do you think is what faction do you think has got the highest math?
I mean, it's hard to. Well,
It's gotta be. Is it the Horseman?
Or the NWO.
Oh wow.
Because between Hogan, the Outsiders, everybody else, all the belts they won, they basically ruled WCW for a good 3 years.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Especially kayfabe. The kayfabe for them would be off the charts.
Once again, Hogan's leathery nutsack. Who else thinks Ronda's walk is funny? Yeah, she speed walks.
Yeah. Astros J5 in the Attitude Era, they were drinking on live TV, then wrestling the mat. Stone Cold. It's funny. 2 years ago, Seth has a crutch and hold harmless agreement. Now Becky. That's right. Wasn't the match against Triple H at Mania a hold harmless situation too?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. Let's see here. Aminadab Garcia. Do you think Becky will go to WrestleMania in a wheelchair? Seems like they're gonna drag out the injury. Yeah, she keeps them like it just gets comedic.
Maybe like a lark. What was that?
That was very loud. Let's see here. Oh, did you see this?
Huh.
Snake Sosa here in Discord says, "What do you think of the blue belt AJ was holding at a house show?"
Oh, I didn't notice that.
He was talking to the crowd about how everybody seems to get a custom title. Daniel Bryan has his little hemp title, and then he says, "When I get that thing back, maybe I'll do this." And then he pulled out a title that had a blue strap.
Oh.
And then the crowd seemed kind of like, yeah, what? No. Like, they didn't boo him.
But it wasn't enthusiastic.
No, I was sitting at home. I was like, boo. I booed him from home.
Oh, all right. I mean, just like the Universal. But
that other title just reminded me too much of a Gillette ad. Scared me.
With the blue strap, huh?
Now I got a blue. Yeah, it's a blue strap.
Uriel 30, having Ronda completely destroy Becky was awesome. I like MMA people holding back because it's WWE, but are pushed over the edge and unleash hell. Emphasis on hell on Uriel's part. Jeffrey Nguyen, you guys see the video of Orton twerking? Yeah, man, he's got some moves.
Yeah, it was great. Nate Ryan, did you see Becky smiling her ass off every time they showed her during Ronda's promo? It was great. Yeah, I saw that. That was good. She thought it was very amusing.
Miguel, been a while since I donated. Keep it coming, goons. Apparently we're goons.
That's a hockey term.
Yeah.
For the enforcer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jimmy Thomas, kayfabe reason why the women's tag champions haven't appeared on SmackDown yet. Because they're so tired from traveling between Raw and NXT that they forget where SmackDown is.
Jen Lee accepted. Question from yesterday. I'm going to be a judge at my church's upcoming meatball cook-off. I was wondering if going into Raw math works for meatballs or if I need to change the formula.
I got this question yesterday. I decided to push until I was like, ask us again tomorrow because Larson's more the food critic here of the two of us. So going in Raw math on meatballs, this will be
in my mind. The only thing that's going to knock down your a meatball score is if there's an excessive amount of cheese in it.
In ring,
like I could be cool.
Oh, that's going to be a problem.
I could be cool with a little bit of cheese.
The more, the better.
No, because if there's too much cheese in there, it dominates the meat. There's a ratio there you got to do. Like you can't have too much of the breadcrumbs either. Otherwise, it's literally like you're eating bread made out of meat. It's too much. Ratio's gonna be wrong, but a perfectly constructed meatball. Oh, 10, man.
In ring, it's 10.
10, man.
The look of a meatball, it kind of looks like a little ball of crap. So I'm gonna say it's low look.
It depends how you do it. If it's fried, not so much.
Yeah.
Baked, maybe.
Yeah.
Because fried, you get a nice crust on there. That's good.
All right. I mean, all you're talking about. Here's the thing: we're talking about meatballs, and you're talking about if the meat, like what you're talking about, if it's a bad meatball or a good meatball. Well, you got to choose. Are we talking about? We got to talk about middle of the road meatballs, just meatballs in general.
6.
Okay. Look at 6.
Yeah, because you put sauce on it, covers a bunch of that stuff up, and often there's sauce on it.
Okay. See, that's better.
I was getting to that, man. There's a lot that goes into this. It's not willy-nilly.
What kind of promo I think meatball cuts? I mean, I think it's a smell, right? Because that's like.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: they smell delicious, but I feel like meatballs are kind of taken for granted.
Oh, they definitely are.
So I think that hurts the promo score.
Oh, that's interesting.
Or maybe the legacy. I don't know.
But then you look at it and it smells so good. I
think
the smell is its only other way of communicating.
Okay, then
it smells so good.
7.
It's like a solid 7.
7
promo.
smell.
Legacy of the meatball.
It's a very versatile food.
But like you just said, it's underrated. It's not a strong legacy. People don't automatically think of meatball and think, man.
Well, here's the thing, because usually I think usually meatballs are associated with it's not like gourmet stuff.
Yeah, sure.
You know, you get a plate of spaghetti and meatballs or a meatball sub. That's not exactly. I mean, it could be delicious. And perception is it's not gourmet food. You know,
which means its legacy is not great. Say its legacy is like 6 because it's underrated, even though it's really good.
Yeah.
Kayfabe, how are they booked?
Not the strongest because of the legacy. It's not viewed as gourmet stuff.
It's not viewed as like must eat.
No, even though, man, if you're in the mood for meatball, nothing satisfies quite like it. So I'll say 6 or 7 for kayfabe.
I'll say 6. All right, so 10 and 6 is 16, plus 7 is, I don't know, what, 46, 45, something
What,
like that?
23. That's 23.
23 plus 6 is 29, plus 6 is 35.
No,
It's
you
10
have,
plus.
you have to divide this by 3. You've got to do the math.
7.
7 plus
7
12
plus
is 19.
12 is
It's 6 plus.
19.
It's the Bret Hart level food item.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Again, the math always works, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning
Jim
in.
Roeder, $2. Thank you.
Oh, nice. No message, but it's not retracted. Jim, I
Yes.
prefer the retracted messages. Thanks so much for everybody. We have a bonus episode for $5 and up patrons.
What do you have for Truth Exposed today?
Patrick Sparks, are you around? Give us Truth Exposed. We need a Truth Exposed video. We're going to expose some truth about something.
Maybe.
Anyways, thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Here's an ad for our Patreon. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.